everybody. So, welcome to another Made by Folk live stream. Just checking that everything's working this time after we had so many issues in the last interview. But so far, everything's looking really great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight we've got Brosmind, Juan and Alejandro Mengaro from Barcelona with us. I'm going to get them on in a couple of seconds. They're going to chat to us about their brand new book, More, Why, How, What, of which I have a copy here, and it's looking really good. But we'll dig a little bit deeper into that in a few seconds. But let's bring our guests on and say hello. Hopefully, if everything's working nicely, we should see them right about. Always jinx it. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. Boys. My heart's racing.
Hey Glenn, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
You guys, every time I build up the pressure too much, but it's working fine. It's working fine.
You
guys
suffer some seconds. Yeah.
Dudes, thanks so much for joining me. You know, I've been pestering you guys for interviews since I think the first time I heard about you when I actually came to visit you in Barcelona, which must be at least 8 or 9 years ago. So thanks very much for joining me tonight in the very hot Barcelona on a holiday as well. So I do massively appreciate the time that you're taking for me.
Oh, come on, you're great. Thanks for having us in the show, Glenn.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Always. So I remember spotting some news about your new book on Instagram, and I thought, well, the last one, which I've got in the back here as well, you made it really difficult for me to pick which side I should take because you're both on the outside cover.
That's the good one.
I can only show one side, so I'll flip it over now so that you've both been in the background at least.
That's the younger version of my brother. That's the younger version of mine.
Mustache version.
Yeah. Those are a couple of years old. Those photos. Now there's a lot more. There's a lot more hair going on.
Yeah, man.
More kids. More kids. We have.
And more kids.
Bigger family. More white hair. Yeah.
That's 2014, I think. It's already like, whoa, man. We have 4 kids. Well, 2 and 2, man. Life is getting complex.
Yeah. And then in all that time, you're still finding the time to like republish this newer version of your first book. Tell us a little bit about the process of kind of editing what you already had and what you've added. Like what's different in this new book?
Yeah, no, we have the opportunity to do this kind of. The idea was to do a second edition, but it's been 8 years or something since then. So we have tons of new work. And also during this period, our process of working changed quite a bit because we went into the realm of digital. No, so we wanted to put all those changes, all that new stuff in the new book. Also,
because when you do a second edition, at least in our case, many things change. You know, we grow up. I mean, we went through a lot of experience. You know, we have kids. Things have to do being more efficient, I think. So many things changed, and then the pandemic and everything, you know. So for us, it was a great opportunity. And the editor, Norma Editorial here from Barcelona with Oscar Valiente, they know us really well, and they really wanted to give us the chance to not just make a second edition of reprinting, so a chance to revisit the book, make new versions. That the skeleton of the book is the same. You know, the storyline is very similar, but we made it in a way that
the structure is the same. No, the title is still the same. Why, how, what? Because we are talking about our background, the process, and the work, but also the edition is different. This is a little bit smaller, more practical, but it's thicker. No, it has more pages. Because this one was really cool, but it was really heavy. It was inside a box. It had several items inside, and it was more expensive compared to this one. We wanted to put this book has more content and is more affordable, is more practical, more durable. So
you better buy it, man. But yeah, but I mean, the thing is that the editor is like having all these great ideas, and we met him and he wanted to do like something solid for the future, and it was great. It's a great book, it contains like a comic, stickers, like all these extras. But then we realized that our followers might not, they don't want to spend that much money in that book, So when we sold out, we said, oh man, it's the opportunity to make a more versatile edition, something that also fits better with us, and goes through all the work that we've been going through this time.
Yeah, but this publisher, they are specializing in comic books. They publish a lot of comic books from the States, from Europe, or manga, Japanese comic books. And they always like to put comic details. So inside this volume, there are also little comic characters, which are us, who go together with you while you are reading the book. In the corners, those characters appear, and they are telling you little details or interesting things about those specific projects. So the comic is also featured in this.
Last thing before, and then we shut up because I think we're talking already too much, Glenn.
No, not at all. This is what we're here for.
Every time that we do like an art piece or a project, we really want to break the boundaries in between us and the people, and the art pieces or the illustration or anything we create, we want to create a communication, a conversation with the audience, no? Yeah. So what we wanted to put out in this book is, you always miss when you get a book from an artist, you don't have a straight conversation with the actual artist, you cannot call them on the phone. You have this kind of version, you read it, okay, you get something. And that's why these little characters that are following you and helping you through the way, it's kind of a way like, hey, we're still here, it's this project is so intimate, it's kind of our life, we've been doing this since we were kids. So we want to be there with you, we want to follow up people and we want to put up and remark some specific points through the book. So
yeah, I don't know if you can depict here. It's this kind of details. You see this little. That's one example, and they are in many of the projects just there to tell you important things, interesting things. Yeah, and that's the general idea of the book. And in this case, there is a big amount of sketches. Almost a third part of the book are sketches, which is. This kind of you can see the artworks, the process, but in this case, since we moved to digital, many of those sketches don't exist in reality, are made in digital on the iPad, and that's how we explain here with a very nice foldable. I don't know how is this called. This is a special. It's in the middle.
Oh, nice!
Look at that.
So you can actually see the process from the idea, from the very rough sketches. So we clean up the lines, and we come up with a cleaner version. You might not be able to see that on camera, but we really want to share the process, because we were like people that we were against technology in terms like we don't want to use a Wacom or an iPad or anything, We want to use our hands. We want to feel connected, But then reality, you are getting busier. You need to make things more efficient. And man, we start with a Wacom, and nowadays we're working with an iPad. And for us, it's really changed our lives. We can go home, work from there with not having to carry all this heavy equipment. And the feeling, the feel of how to draw a sketch, it made us feel really comfortable. And we felt like, man, they are tricking us. They are taking us from our traditions, from our.
And it's very curious because in this book, in the first one, we were saying, oh man, we loved working in the traditional way. We are never changing to the digital. We always do everything by hand. We do the inking by hand, blah, blah, blah. And, after 8 years, it's amazing. Those guys 8 years ago, us, our version in the past, couldn't believe what we did. We treat them, And
and it's really. This is not advertisement, but man, it really helped us go faster with the process. We can throw like 100 sketches faster. We can send it back and forth to us from our holidays from home. And man, it saved us a lot of time. We used to carry like this Canon scanner, with us, thinking that the feeling of the paper was amazing. It's still amazing, But especially when you do commissions, that sometimes you don't really have that time. And you want to invest time more maybe in the part of the idea, and you want to develop more the sketch part, and then maybe the final part is more mechanical. It really helps us out. So this book is bringing that in front. We share a bunch of sketches, we share our tools, which tools we used to use, and how that evolved into these little devices and how we work now. And now the sketches can also come in color and things like that we might be back then lazy or something, but now we really felt the connection with this device, and it's like
and
magical
also,
for us.
Talking about the work, there is many work we developed during these years, but also during this period, we started to work a lot for Asia, a new market, because we used to work a lot for the States and for Europe, but in Asia was one of our dreams, and we got the opportunity to have a new agent there, and we've been doing several projects, not only illustration but also installations and exhibitions there in Taipei or in.
It must be amazing to see your work in 3D at that scale as well. Like not just like I don't know, like a little vinyl figure, but actually, I think there was like a Christmas decoration that you guys did for a big shopping center over there, and like the setup. I mean, it just filled a massive atrium with like characters that looked like they must be, I don't know, 3-4 meters tall.
4 meters. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, for us, it's great because we are so used to work always in 2 dimensions, and this connection with the people, it's like maybe they see you in a magazine, on a newspaper, a poster, or digital directly on a social media, whatever. But when you do those things, most of the people, when they see that, they don't even know you, so they are like interacting with those pieces straight forth, and that's, for us, it's kind of the most rewarding part, because there are people that don't even know you, they jump there and they find their connection, they may understand things on their own way, and that's for us is kind of the most important, breaking this boundary in between the audience and us, So when you work in these scenarios, installations, big malls, or I don't know, like exhibitions and things, it's so great. It's great,
but the thing is that in Asia they can produce that very fast, and I don't know, it seems to be affordable for them. For example, this kind of projects, this kind of sculptures here, at least in Spain or in Europe, you can do so many of them and so big. It's very expensive because we don't have the machinery of production for those pieces, So it's a dream control, and those projects are here in this book. And one last thing, also, I don't know if you remember that we have this site, the personal projects, where we develop projects with no client, just for us, with ideas we have, and they are more multidisciplinary, And in the last years, we developed a side project called Brosmind Tech, in which we play to build tech things.
My content strong Spanish accent.
We play with electronics and programming, and we create those devices that maybe some of you, if you have seen any of our conferences or talks, we wear those controllers in our hands that we build by ourselves, and we create also this kind of video game machines, arcade machines for exhibitions, for people to play with them. And all those projects, finally we have the time and the space to put them inside a book and explain them well, with enough time, and all that material, very rare and exclusive, is in this book
because for us it's very important, like apart from like, this has been like a long journey, we were kids, we love to create, we end up doing this as a business, we specialize in illustration, but illustration is just something that we jump kind of randomly, it was where we were able to do a living with, it's still our major income, But for us, it's really important that we don't want to limit ourselves there, we want to show up people that we're, not capable, but we enjoy exploring other medias, like from sculpture, from video game, and we love the concept kind of do it yourself, and so for us being able to develop those machines here in the studio and show them to the people, like, hey, it's not just illustration, it's like all this spectrum of things of variety, and it's all very personal. You may like it or not, but there's a why behind all that, and why we come up to this point. So that book is great for that reason, because after 8 years from the first one, we kind of find or understand ourselves better, We are kind of grown up now, and we say, okay, this is what we want to share with the people, with the world.
I think it's a great opportunity because often when you release something like a book or a big project like that, you rarely have the opportunity to kind of revisit it that long ago, like later, to really improve on it and see what you learned and add to it. I think it's a great opportunity, like you said, to kind of bring that maturity, of you two and your work into this newer version. I'm like, I've only arrived on Monday, so I've not gone through it all. But I was a big fan of the first one, so that's why I was so excited to talk to you about the new version. So I'm very excited to read through it at the weekend. Guys, you were right on the money. 15 minutes is what I've asked for. That was the best book pitch we've had so far.
Man, I was worried at the beginning because we usually talk and talk and talk and talk, man.
Well, that's what we'll do now on the Instagram Ask Me Anything session. So anybody watching now, you can come over to our Instagram and we'll just have a more relaxed conversation there, go through lots of details. I've got lots of questions, and anybody there can ask questions while we're there. And if you're watching this later and not live, the Q&A will also be archived on our IGTV, so you can go and head over there and check it out. Boys, Alejandro, Juan, thank you very much as always for having a chat with me. I'm super excited. When is it out? Where do we get it?
It's getting out this 25th. It's going to be in stores. It's supposed to be worldwide in all stores. It might get a little bit later in some places, but it's going to be everywhere.
Friday, 25th of June. Yeah.
Nice. Buy it online. It's going to be in the major platforms. You might just Brosmind, book, something like that. I'm sure you'll find it.
I'll link it below. I'll make sure to share a lot on our channels as well. I'm sure it'll be easy to find if you want to buy a copy. And with that, let's end it there, and we'll head over to Instagram. Boys, thanks for your time.
We're going to start putting the engine on.